I am not a Negro, Black, colored, African American. I'm a Moorish American. Peace.
Yeah. Hey, 5 on the right, 2 on the left, man. You know what time it is. Yo. We just Moors in America, soared through the shores and endured criminal acts of war on our character. 7 years after the 4th score, no reward. Shout out to the most courageous, they was jumping over barriers. Where does that compare to you? We come from a place where you scared to visit our area. We come from a place where it's scary for good Samaritans. Heavy luggage we carrying, babies having babies. It's crazy being American. Praise the one and only Allah, there's no comparison. La ilaha illa Allah, body and buried in. Laughing at you clowns like ha ha, dodging the Nephilim. Conquer lower self with the high, follow your regimen. Way before they came we were gods and now we specimen. Tried to take the light from our eyes, thank God for Edison. Then they put the wool on our eyes, it's so embarrassing. Now we travel frequently, we should invest in Sheraton. All of us got gold on our bodies whenever we stepping in. Screaming Ramadan, Mubarak, training the flesh again. Wishing we could move as a unit just like the Mexicans. Dodging all the foods with estrogen, synthetic medicines. All sin isn't devilish. Sometimes the decisions that you make come for a better gift. Sometimes when you sin is to relate to all your brethren. Heavenly gates all in our face, we the champions. We live in the sky, we see the angels on the chariots. Waiting on the $20 bill, facing Harriet. I bet you I'ma carry it. I'm in love with music to the point I wanna marry it. But my love for people is greater, so I write messages. Largest spending power, but we still sit at a deficit. Living amongst prejudice, even at our residence. Moors in America, flourishing, excellent. Let's buy up some neighborhoods and groom our own president. Yeah. And I come to you today with all intentions of spreading love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
All right. What's up, everybody? Peace, Islam, and Salam Alaikum, Hotep, and all that good stuff. What's up, everybody? Moors in America. We live in effect. This video represents the views of the presenters and our guests, and it's based off our personal research and life experience. This is just me coming off the dome, just throwing some things that I'm seeing play out, and I want to make sure it's put in a proper perspective. So first though, before we get started, we always rise and give the highest praise to the Most High, the creator of the universe. Our Father God, Allah. Doesn't matter what name you call him. All right. I want to give honors to our divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali, for bringing us our divine creed and nationality. And we're not afraid to say that over here. He's a prophet, raised from amongst us and speaking our language. Y'all look that up. That's in all the holy books. We give honors to everything more. Honors to all of you watching, and honors to you for sharing too. I know you're going to help to share this. Islam out there in Southwest Ohio, to the Moors in Southwest Ohio, I see you. Why don't you link up with us, help us build our temple? You know, when we put out the call to build the temple, it's always a few. It's only a few that actually come through ready to build. But that's how it is. So link up with us more, help us build the temple. So yeah, today what we're going to be talking about this afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Listening to the True and Living Light Bringing Moors in America. As always, I'm your brother, Lloyd Douglas L., also known as Sharif Ali. Here, we uncover and bring glorious light to all issues pertinent to the Moorish American paradigm. That's what we do here on this podcast known as Moors in America. So I hope everybody's having a great evening. Shout out to Morocco. We have Morocco in the building. Talking about Northwest. What portion of the empire are you talking about? So, anyway, what we're talking about today is some of the craziness. I'm sure you've seen it. You know, I try to stay away from all that stuff like Will Smith smacking Chris Rock and all that, but we're gonna touch on it. We're gonna touch on it a little bit. But yeah, I saw something heinous, like really despicable, man. A brother had like a picture, just he's sharing on his social media, a picture of him holding his daughter, like a little girl, and some despicable, disgusting, filthy, nasty, terrible beast got on there and said, well, let me show you. Can we bring it up? We will bring it up in a second, but she said something horrible. Talking about he looks like a child molester. She had no reason to say that, except for she hates Asiatic men. I don't know, but it's crazy. But we see this happening, and there's a couple other things happening too along these same lines. So we want to put that out there. Shout out to Brotherhood Mystic Islam. So we're gonna expose some stuff, and like I said, we put it in the proper perspective so that when you see these things, remember, some of these things are subliminal. Some of them aren't so obvious and overt. So we have to put it in a proper perspective so that when this happens, people can automatically shut it down. If you recognize what you're seeing, then whatever is trying to be accomplished subconsciously will not work. All right? But people asking about the track that was playing earlier, that's Moors in America. That's our track. That was actually done for us by the brother Sean Bay, the Moor, out of Columbus, Ohio, Islam. And yeah, so this is what I'm talking about right here. Okay, this is just like, this is horrible, right? A brother, you know, he's sharing pictures actually of his whole family. Like he had pictures of his wife and the daughter, and this lady got on one of his pictures and said he looks like a child molester. Like, how can you even see something like that? You know, you're sharing pictures of your family, and that's the crazy thing about the internet. Anybody can come on and just like, you know, say anything stupid. So this despicable beast, shout out to the brother Asir, shout out to the noble. This despicable beast gets on the brother's picture of him and his daughter and says something crazy, right? But we want to bring light to this and put this stuff out there so that everybody can see what's going on, because this is just a portion of the craziness that's going on, right? It's attack on, and a lot of us don't see it, but we're going to speak on it. So like I was saying, yes, I just happened to see this, and the sister was sharing it. She put it in a proper light. She shared this post saying this is toxic black femininity. If a black woman can't look at a black man without seeing something negative, you the problem, right? That's obvious, right? We should all know that, right? That's ridiculous. Like, why would anybody even say something like that? But there's a reason, and we're going to talk about it. All right. So the brother just shared a picture. And, you know, you would think, okay, everybody loves it. Like when you share pictures of your children, you know, people like it, you know, that's cool. But then people came on there. This woman came on there with something negative to say. And so I just want to speak on it because, you know, this is the type of stuff that we see happening. Right. And it's happening in plain view. And, you know, you have to be able to shut this mess down. So when it happens, like I said, the brother, he shared a picture, you know, and the sister was just going in. She said a lot of stuff. She actually said a lot of stuff. Somebody, you know, else called it out. No way, this is real. She got to be a bot. And he put the whole new blacks on blast. These people, these so-called woke people, whatever they think they are, right? Nowadays, to be whatever they consider themselves, smart, you know, fake, woke, fake, smart, whatever. You got to be what? You got to be pro-LGBTQ, pro-trans, right? Pro-abortion, right? Pro all of this stuff that's really genocide on our people, right? That's what it's really about. So these people who are, you know, thinking that they're smart, like this thing is poking fun at them, saying they typically college educated and wants to end racism by sleeping with whites. This thing is just trying to roast them. But basically, this is a very real phenomenon that's occurred where you have people, they think they're smart, and they're all pro-LGBTQ, pro-trans, pro-abortion. And they don't even realize that these are all things that were designed genocide against our people. I can show you. There was a brother out on the West Coast, right? He was a scientist, and he was doing research with different chemicals that are actually used, like either they're either used in making food products or they're used on crops. I'm going to pull up an article on it just to make sure. But this brother was a scientist. He was a chemist. Okay, he's a chemist, and he was doing experiments with actual animals like lab rats using these chemicals which are in our food, right? And he was showing how the chemicals were turning the animals gay. They were like turning the frogs gay and different animals, right? Okay, and hang on a second. Okay. And like it wasn't a joke. Like it wasn't just turning the frogs gay. No, it was literally like changing their genealogy, right? Making them do things that they don't normally do. Right? Like it says here, hormone disruptors linked to genital changes. And so this is occurring in the animals. And this was a brother. He found this out, and he's trying to take this to the people. Tyrone Hayes, that's right, that was his name. So he tried to take this to like the FDA. They didn't care, right? He tries to bring light to this. Everyone's trying to shut him down. So he spent his own money to go on like CNN, you know, to get some airtime, to put it on blast. They're like, hey, these chemicals, this is in our food. This is a big deal. So the brother put it on blast, and he had to spend his own money. And this was after getting shut down. So everybody tried to shut him down, right? Nobody was trying to hear it. Nobody was trying to hear it. So this was actually being put out there. It says Tyrone B. Hayes, an American biologist, a professor of integrative biology at the University of California, Berkeley. Okay. And so the brother's still with us. Praise Allah. He had to put up his own money to take this out there, right? So this is chemical castration, right? This is genocide, right? And it's not just aimed at us, but a lot of this stuff is aimed at us. I mean, like they've been doing this for a long time. We're not, I mean, you can go and look him up if you want to on your own. Look up Dr. Tyrone Hayes, all right? Professor of biology at Cal Berkeley. So it's not a joke. And he's seeing how this was actually increasing the estrogen, converting testosterone into estrogen. All right. And this is the chemicals, same chemicals now that's in our food. That's why it's a problem. That's why he's like, okay, this, you guys should want to do something about this, right? Hell nah. Right. They weren't trying to change anything. They just wanted to shut them up. So definitely people who never heard of this before, go and look that up. All right, nobody's making this up. So this really happened. And just saying that to say that, hey, it's not a coincidence now that you have more and more people, you know, coming out, right? More and more people wanting to explore their sexuality, and then happening at younger and younger ages. And then now on top of that, now they're getting these chemicals introduced into their system that's changing their physiology. And then if they, just in case they still don't know what to do with this, right? Because it's getting introduced to them, but they still don't know what to do. Well, just in case that happens, guess what? You have the programming, like for example, Disney. Now, this is actually on another video on here, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this, but go check out this video. Just put this up like a week ago. Right? It says gay agenda in full effect. Disney so gay. Now on this video, you will see, right? We have a video clip of this lady who is an executive producer at Disney. Okay. She's an executive producer at Disney, and she's coming out on this video that they made internally. So it was really just supposed to be for the employees, you know, for the stockholders and people like at Disney. It wasn't supposed to get out there. But she's on there talking about her not at all secret gay agenda, right? And how she just like was kind of surprised how she just had full range to add any type of, what she said in her own words, adding queerness to the children's programming. She was like shocked how she could just do whatever she wanted. Okay, so just in case, you know, like I said, they're putting this stuff in the food. So just in case the children don't know what to do with these new hormones and things that they're experiencing, boom, they got your cartoons to tell you what to do. All right. And you know the kiddies are watching Disney. Even say all ages. I think it right? Really covered because you know, just sitting them in front of the TV and letting them go, not even thinking about it, trusting it, right? You're trusting Disney and not knocking you, you know, for, you know, letting your children watch cartoons because they should be able to watch it, right? But no, that's not what's going on. So there's an agenda at play. I do want to play this really quick, just so you know, this is not in any way a conspiracy. All right. So we have scientists who've independently seen this, verified this chemical, biological attack on us, tried to bring it to light. No one wanted to hear it. And then you have people joking about how they are putting, like, you shouldn't be promoting sexuality to children at all. Period. Right? It doesn't need to be any type of sexuality being promoted to children at all. That's wrong. But this one is, you know, specifically coming to promote the LGBTQ agenda. All right, let me play this.
That's my career, and I'd heard, you know, whispers. Like I'd heard things like, oh, you know, they won't let you show this or this and show. And I'm like, okay. So I was a little like sus when I started, but then my experience was bafflingly the opposite of what I had heard on my little pocket of, like, you know, Proud Family Disney TVA. The showrunners were super welcoming, Meredith Roberts, and like our leadership over there has been so welcoming to like my like not at all secret gay agenda. And so like I feel like I felt like it was, I mean, like maybe it was that way in the past, but I guess like something must have happened in the last like they are turning it around, they're going hard, and then all that like momentum that I felt, like that sense of I don't have to be afraid to like, let's have these two characters kiss, let's in the background start, like I was just wherever I could, just basically adding queerness to like and you see anything queer in the show, so proud of them. But like I just was like, no one would stop me. And
okay, so this is ridiculous, and she's laughing about it like it's funny, but you know, this is not an agenda. So I did just want to play that real briefly so that you can see that. If you want to watch that video, go to the channel. It's on this channel. It says gay agenda in full effect, right? Disney so gay. This is crazy. This is insane. And she's joking about putting it out there and actually saying in her own words, like, they're just going hard now. She's expressing it like this. Like, she's actually saying she's confused how they're just letting her do this and how they're going so hard at it, right? No one was trying to stop her, okay? So, you know, she doesn't realize she's being played and used. There's an agenda, and you're being used to push it because for whatever reason, she wants to push this stuff. Maybe she's, you know, LGBTQ or children or something. I don't, who knows? But she's pushing this to children. So there's nothing at all funny about you promoting any type of, you know, adult sexual situations to children at all, right? I don't, you know, it doesn't need to be happening, but especially this. Okay, so like I said, you know, this is in full effect. They've been attacking with the chemicals, right? Putting that in the food, literally. Okay, so that's not funny at all. And then they're putting it in the cartoons, the things that they know your children are watching. Okay, and then it's not a coincidence now, all right, that you have an attack creeping in on the family. Now, actually, before I talk about this, right, you actually had not too long ago some leaders some Black Lives Matters leaders, right? BLM leaders, speaking about the family. Let's see what they have to say about the family. About the nuclear family. Okay. It's not a coincidence that Black Lives Matter just happens to have a lot of leaders, they're so-called leaders that are pro-LGBTQ. And then not only that, but a lot of them are homosexual themselves or gender confused or whatever, right? It's not a coincidence, right? I've seen people sharing this article too, talking about how the ones out in the West Coast just bought some $6 million mansion for the leaders to live in so they can make videos and stuff from. Like, it makes no sense. This is in no way, just in case you didn't know, this is in no way a grassroots movement by and for the people, right? But so anyway, like I said, you had also these Black Lives Matter people express their goal to disrupt the nuclear family. Like, what the hell, right? So what is this, like 3 lesbian women? And okay, you want to, like, according to you, your fake goal is to try to stop police brutality or something like that. Like, who even knows what their goal is? But they let it be known. They had to walk that back, as you can see from this New York Post article. They try to remove this page that they had. They had like a whole page on their website dedicated to their attempts to disrupt the nuclear family structure. And they took it down because this guy, an NFL vet, somebody who has a voice, attacked it. He's like, nah, this is wrong. He brought light to it. So they scrubbed the page a week later. All right. And they're trying to attack the nuclear family, talking about Western prescribed nuclear family structure. Like there isn't already an abundance of broken homes within our community. Like that's not already a part of the problem. They're going to try to act like we just have a whole bunch of healthy families with mothers and fathers raising their children together in a loving household. And we need to stop that. That's promoting the patriarchy. Like what? We don't even have that luxury, right? Like how many of you, like me, came up in a broken home? Okay. So this is what, it doesn't even make sense for me and my wife to be together for going on 20 years now and to have all of our children together in the same household and to be raising them because we both experienced dysfunction growing up, which is what most of us experience. And these people want to make it even worse, but they act like they're for you. Black Lives Matter. So just so that it doesn't sound like I'm jumping around, man, I'm making a point. There's an attack on us, on our family structure. They're war to your genealogy, right? To make your testosterone turn into estrogen. So they're specifically, and they've been doing this for years, and it's in the food. And then, just in case that doesn't blow you away, well, we've got the programming there from childhood to help to guide you in this direction. And they're joking about it, right? Laughing about, it's just so confused how they're just letting me put all this programming in there. Like she's wondering why they're going so hard with promoting gay agenda to children. And she still did it. She probably got herself in trouble with that video. I think somebody put that video out that probably didn't like her or didn't agree with what she was saying, because that was not supposed to get out to the public. Okay. But as you saw in there, she let it be known how she was confused, how they're just like letting it go. Everything goes. No one was trying to stop me. And they have to get a so-called black face to do it. Right? So just because it looks like you doesn't mean it's your friend. Okay? Just like this Black Lives Matter thing, it makes no sense for them if they were all about ending police brutality against the people. Like, who knows what they're about? For them to have some page where one of their goals, right, is to decimate the black family. Like, what the hell? Why? Like, come on. All right. the nuclear family structure, like we just have an abundance of nuclear families. Come on. And then the only reason they walked that back is because Marcellus Wiley put it on blast. So, just wanted to point that out. I know a lot of people don't know this, right? I know some people might think that it's a good thing. They removed what they believe from the page. So I actually saw that before they took it down. They must have took that down a while ago, right? Talking about the Wayback Machine actually archived the page. We disrupt the Western prescribed nuclear family structure required by supporting each other as extended families and villages that collectively care for one another, especially our children, to the degree that mothers, parents, and children are comfortable. Like we already have this messed up structure already, right? We already have this structure where there's like no father in the picture, or where, just things are messed up. Parents are split up, don't really get along, maybe having issues. Children aren't getting what they need with a mother and father there that's both caring and protecting them, looking out for them, loving them, and both getting the masculine and the feminine perspective. They're trying to decimate it. Like, come on, man. People don't realize you're under attack, right? So that's crazy in and of itself. But just going back to this. So, yeah, even now, you're just sharing your pictures of your family online, and these devils are on there attacking it. And this is a real person. She has a real page that she made private, probably because of the backlash she got from this. Okay? He looks like a child molester. He's sharing a picture with him and his daughter, man. This is ridiculous. Let me show you something else too, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, so people had taken some screenshots from the page. Now, this is just one person, but listen, there's a mindset behind this. This is not just one person. This is somebody who thinks they're educated and smart, right? Just like that thing I was just showing with Black Lives Matter. They want to decimate the nuclear family. Somebody will think, they just want to make it where everyone else feels comfortable, because, saying family, what about the trans? They can't have children. All of this stupid stuff. There's stupid ways for you to try to intellectualize this stuff and make it seem right. Like, this is not your agenda. There's billions of dollars behind this. You didn't buy the $6 million home that these Black Lives Matter leaders got, right? That was bought and paid for by somebody. Okay? For real. Hang on. Right? So, yeah, Black Lives Matter secretly bought $6 million home. Okay? You didn't buy this $6 million home. You don't have resources like that. So this is not some genuine, loving, human movement, like human rights movement. This is not real. It's not like that, right? You don't have resources like that. There's people who are getting paid to push these agendas. They're getting paid to push these attacks on the family. That's why it's not a coincidence now that you see all these roaches coming out to attack the Asiatic men. Right? These people are just like their underlings. It's just like if you in a real dirty place, maybe, and you just sit on a couch or something, in like an abandoned home, and just roaches just run out in every direction. This is what's happening, right? They put a little battery in these people's backs, and these people think they're smart, and they go out promoting that agenda. But the people who are putting the battery in their back, they actually are getting paid. That's their job, right? They're buying houses for them and giving them the money. And they're like, well, we need people like you to go into your community and recruit people, go into the colleges, right? In the schools, and to educate the people, to get them on this, and that's why these movements like this Black Lives Matter, they're financed by who? People like George Soros, right? Billionaire George Soros. If you look up George Soros, you'll see this guy has his claws, his tentacles in these types of organizations, these type of anarchist movements all over the world, right? The Open Society Foundation announces $220 million for building power in Black communities, right? But buying a $6 million mansion for some Black Lives Matter leaders, that's not assisting. That's not doing anything, right? That's not helping anyone. Okay. And so why also, I mean, just common sense would be, why would this guy have anything to do with Black Lives Matter? Right? Why? Right? It makes no sense unless you realize there's an agenda at play, right? So, people, you got to think, man, this, come on, it's not a real movement for the people. And so that's why it's not a coincidence then to see this lady, the same person who's attacking this dude. She goes right to the next talking point, which is something that you should already assume these types of people will be on. And once again, this isn't about this person. Okay. So I'm about to go on and take this off of here. I'm sure she caught a lot of flack for saying this stupid mess. And that's why now the account is private. People like this would never come on here and talk because, it's really easy to expose their agenda. They'll look foolish, right? But that's why it's not a coincidence. This person's attacking some Asiatic dude with his daughter for no reason, and then goes right to the next talking point, which is this article that was just put out the other day, New York Post article. That actually was written by a black man. I'm gonna call him black, right? Because he's acting like a slave. So this article on New York Post that was just released says why more black women should consider marrying white men. Okay. And if you look this dude up, Ralph Richard Banks, he's a black man. Okay. Let's just say that. And he wrote a book. He published a book, says more than a decade ago, called Is Marriage for White People? Right? Isn't that insane? Like, come on. Why would you even do something like that? But the sister put she ain't a sister, man. She put this post out right after talking trash about this dude for no reason, saying it's becoming more clear that white men make better husbands for college-educated black women, especially those with advanced degrees. Okay? And putting out, these are talking points. This is why they're all parroting the same thing. They're all parroting the same thing. It's no independent thought going on here. Okay, and then you look at the article. This guy who wrote this article, he's educated, right? Well educated. He's actually married to a sister, right? Or Asiatic woman. Okay, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's a professor. Yeah, okay, yeah, professor of law at Stanford Law School. Okay, and this guy wrote a book a decade ago saying, Is Marriage for White People? How the African-American marriage decline affects everyone. Okay, so for whatever reason, I guess because he wrote that book, he was tapped to push this agenda, right? This wasn't just some bright idea that this guy had. He's tapped to push the agenda. And they show this lady who was just confirmed to the Supreme Court, Ketanji Brown Jackson. I think she's Jamaican, with her husband who's of European descent. This isn't a knock to her. Okay, now no knock to her. I'm not like trying to disparage her, even though she does have some questionable things in her past. I've seen some of the articles and things showing how she's extremely lenient in the past as a judge towards people who were convicted pedophiles, right? Like she gave them really lenient sentences and maybe even in some cases probation. So this is really crazy. But besides all that, it's no attack on her, right? Of course, they're going to put her on the front, her and Kamala, because they're both with Europeans. Two of the most powerful positions in the United States will soon be held by black women. And then he's mentioning how they're both with white men. And then he goes on to give examples and reasons why, if you're educated, you're successful, you are going to need to marry outside your race. All right. And explaining how marriages don't last long and just giving all of these reasons why the women need to marry outside. Okay. And, this article, I would imagine it caught some flack, but This is just a part of the program that's getting put out there. Okay, a lot of people just read this stuff, especially these educated people who don't understand what's going on, and they buy in, they believe it, especially since he's got not 2 but 3 examples. This one is a actor who's married to this guy. He used to be on one of those shows, man. I can't remember what the show is, but he's married to another actor, right? So he's got 3 examples there for the women to now use for their talking points in their head. They're buying into this. Oh no, he's got 4 examples. This one's married to George Lucas, turkey neck looking at, excuse me. So she's married to him, right? So he's got all these examples in here, and he's letting you know and why this is the best way to go. And people are actually buying into this stuff, right? They're seeing it and they're believing it, right? Because seeing is believing. So people are really listening to this. And then on the other hand, right, you have just like that dude, right? He's a black man, educated. Then you also have on the other hand, that's for the educated people. Now, for the people who don't read and, you know, aren't that intellectual, they have all of these rats and roaches all over the internet, all over the podcasts. They're all over YouTube. And you have the men who are talking trash about black women and just going on and on about, you know, they're talking trash about black women's hair, just like everything. They're just trashing the women and talking about how they have to date outside their race. And so they're appealing to that low level element, people who just listen to stuff, right? So you have that. Then you have the intellectual appealing to the people that are college educated. You also have the women, too, that are like low level. They're all over the podcast doing the same thing, but they're all trashing the black men. And they give like a dumbed down version, right, of why they have to date outside their race, right? So you have this occurring, too, on both fronts, right, to make sure they're planting these seeds in everyone's heads. And so that's like, this is also something that you see happening subliminally in the movies, right? The movies, the TV shows now, you'll see a ton of TV shows and movies now where, you know, it's basically people, you know, mixed race couples, right? And I'm not knocking it. I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad in a mixed race relationship or none. It's not an attack on anybody. I'm just saying there's an agenda out here. Okay. And the agenda has nothing to do with you. You know, if you personally with somebody that you happy with, good for you. Because there's a lot of miserable people in the world. Do whatever makes you happy. But I'm just saying there's an agenda that goes above and beyond all that. Right. And it's pushing genocide for us. Okay. And so that's what this is really about. That whole ritual that you saw with Will Smith. Right. That mess, that fake phony ritual at the what was it, the Oscars, right? I just walked Chris and smack go fucking crazy, talking about keep my name out your mouth or my wife's name out your mouth or whatever, right? It was crazy, and it was also fake. You know, it was fake. It was pre-scripted, and it was obvious. I mean, yeah, people showing like close-ups. This brother, I think he did a breakdown on it, but you have close-ups where you can see like this dude has like a pad on his face, right? Somebody said even without the close-up, they saw the fake skin pad. He's bracing for the hit, just standing there like it had to play out, right? They're doing this, and then look at, I mean, come on, man. You know, he just went up and smacked him and then walked and sat down. Like, it was stupid. And it was pre-scripted and just played out for the same reason that these people, these 2 actors, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, they're actors. They've been playing this thing out for years now. Like, it's all about embarrassing, you know, humiliating Will Smith publicly, right? That's what they do. That's their shtick. You know, that's like their thing. That's what they do. That's how they get paid. That's how they stay relevant. You know, and then guess what? He's gonna have his movies come out. He's got they just announced they're making a new I Am Legend, right? And what else? He's got I Am Legend and something else. I don't even remember. But he's got like, you know, 2 movies coming out now, right? Maybe Jada Pinkett's in something too. So they're gonna get paid from this. Chris Rock's already getting paid from it, right? Who cares? His tour then already sold out. So everybody gets paid for doing it. But this is what they've been doing for years. This is why they're always doing this stuff that, you know, gets people talking, because you think that they're real people. You think they're a real couple and they're just having marital problems and they're just playing everything out for you to see. Like they don't know how to keep anything private. Like, yeah, right. Like you just happen to know who Jada Pinkett's sleeping with and all this stuff, and you think that that's not fake. Like, come on, they've been playing this out, right? And his whole thing's about getting humiliated. That's how come he goes up and he attacks somebody, right? Which made him look stupid, because all the dude did was crack a joke. Like, who cares? He jokes on everybody. Wasn't a big deal, right? But then Jada Pinkett comes out a day later and says that she wishes he never did it, right? And like, you know, people mad, like the sister said, you know, he need to Will Smith her too, right? Like people, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's like, you know, they do this all the time. That's their thing, right? It is fake, and it's all about embarrassing them, which the way that people see it now, right? The way that the men are under attack, the women are under attack. They want you to feel like, hey, we can't be together. It doesn't work. Everything that you see almost when they show Asiatics, you know, a couple, there's always some reason why it can't work. It won't work out. It can't happen. And they want you to buy in, to actually believe this, like accept this as your reality. Like, you know, just being out here, just being a person, just being a human, and being with the woman, which is something that all men should be able to do. You should, and it's vice versa for women. You should be able to be with your mate and get along through the ups and downs and be adults together and not lose it, not fall all apart. But it's so difficult now, right? Like your ancestors could do it like 40 years ago or whatever, even 60, 70 years ago, 100 years ago, but you can't do it. And I know people will say, well, you know, they were sleeping in different bedrooms and stuff. It's like, nah, man, maybe for some of them, but no, there's a difference. All right. The way that people think now, you know, it's like the mentality, right? The patience level that we have is so low. The tolerance level that you have is so low that you don't know, like when you break up with somebody that you're with, maybe over a little argument or something, you don't even realize that you two were supposed to grow from that, right? You're supposed to get over it, grow from it, you know, grow stronger together, you know, bond even harder, even tighter together. And, you know, after years, like have an unbreakable bond. But people aren't even able to get to that level because of all of the programming, all of the things that's in your system, right? From the food you're eating, the water you're drinking, everything. This got people at this level now where like you can't even take it, right? You can't take anything. And then why should you? Everything is microwave now, right? Everything is instant. You want instant gratification for everything. So we're not even thinking long term, and then not even getting the benefits from actually sticking things out and growing, right? And then you have these people who are like relationships experts, right? That are like telling you what an ideal relationship is supposed to look like. And then you find out that they were phony the whole time, right? What was that dude's name? This dude name was Jackson, I think. And he was like this relationship expert. He was a relationship guru. Yeah. And then, you know, he gets exposed, right? The whole time he was cheating on his wife. But before that got exposed, how did he make his money? He's out there talking to black women, telling them what their ideal man should be like, and talking bad about all the men, throwing all the men under the bus. right? And so he's giving you this ideal, this unattainable of this man who's like that he doesn't even live up to, right? Right? He's trying to keep all of y'all single and stupid so he can run through you, so he can run through all of y'all, right? And so this guy gets exposed, but he's not the only one. So you got this program literally out there making it so that you don't even know how to coexist together. Then you've got this subconscious programming that's actually trying to change your physiology, right? Change your mental outlook to make you confused and even to make your children confused. Okay? Right? This is open genocide. They've been pushing this for the longest. This is not a joke. And it's really been going on for, I mean, if you include abortion, it's been going on for well over 100 years now, right? As if you look at Margaret Sanger, when she started the Negro Project, okay, Margaret Sanger, we have a video on that too. Actually, the video was about Martin Luther King, right? But all right, so yeah, there's another video on this channel that I advise everybody to go and check out. And let me pull it up real quick. I'm not gonna play it, but I seriously advise people go and watch this video where we basically we showed the true legacy and life timeline of Martin Luther King. Okay, the things that were really occurring in his life, the impact that he had, and the things that affected him, like beyond what is covered in the mainstream version of history, right? And so this is why I was saying it's been going on for at least 100 years, actually longer than that. But if you're looking at Margaret Sanger, who basically started this program, this Planned Parenthood program, where the government will pay for abortions. Okay, and it's like going back to 1925, right? At an international birth control gathering. All right. The speaker warned of the menace posed by the black and yellow peril, right? And that sounds bad, but that's nothing compared to these letters that Margaret Sanger wrote back and forth with the heir to the Johnson & Johnson Corporation, or Procter & Gamble, excuse me. So she's talking to Dr. Clarence Gamble about exterminating the Negro population, and they formed the Negro Project, and they came up with the brilliant idea of getting the black leaders to push abortion to us, to push birth control, because as they said on the record, this is all on the record, so this can't be seen as some conspiracy, right? They acknowledged on the record that black leaders might regard birth control as an extermination plot. And the dude, Dr. Clarence Gamble, suggested that black leaders be placed in positions where it would appear that they were in, where they would use black preachers, right, to push the whole abortion agenda to us, right, so that we wouldn't get the idea that they wanted to exterminate the Negro population. And he even went on to, like, as it says in here, this is from the video that I was telling you to check out. It says in here that they basically came up with like this crazy traveling road show where they would get a charismatic black minister to start a revival. And then they'll have a colored nurse come out with a colored doctor. And Gamble even suggested that music might be a useful lure to bring the prospects to a meeting, right? So this is the circus that they came up with. They have music because, you know, we like to sing and dance. And they have the priests, so they got the spiritual, then they got the scientists, they got the colored nurse and the colored doctor to come out and to promote abortions, okay, birth control. And as Sanger said, Margaret Sanger, in her own words, remember, Hillary Clinton said Margaret Sanger's her hero. Margaret Sanger said, we do not want the word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population, and the minister is the man who can straighten that idea out if it ever occurs to any of their more rebellious members. All right. So this is on the record. The Negro Project is not a joke. This is done in secret. Like they were writing letters to each other, but this is on the record. Okay. So it's not a conspiracy, but the thing is, people don't know because they don't teach you this. All right. And then that's why you have all of these black people celebrating Kamala Harris and Obama being in office. And now they're celebrating this black woman who's a Supreme Court justice. And it's like, look, I get it. Yeah, I understand. They don't know anything. OK, but this is all a part of the program. All right. And so, yeah, the Negro Project is real. All right. And then, like I said, they're on the record pushing this. OK, pushing this. And so then it's not a coincidence that all of these people, anyone else who's pushing these types of agendas, they're all pro-abortion. They're all pro-abortion. They all have the same played out script. Right. They're pro-gay, pro-LGBTQ, trans, all of that mess. They're pro-abortion, and then a lot of them too are coming now with this they call swirling, right? This thing, right, where you need to get with the opposite race, especially the black women. All right, and then it's not just because hey, that's you just found someone that you love and be with them. No, there's nothing wrong with that, but no, it's because the black man ain't nothing, right? This man who's just sharing a picture of him with his daughter, he looks like a pedophile. Like what? How can you even say that? Right? Isn't that insane? Like, how can you even say that? How can you say something like that and get away with it? So that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, but that's what we're dealing with here. So I'm just saying this to say that like this is open warfare. It's been open warfare for a while, but this is where you're at now. Okay, if people don't even feel ashamed to come out with this, right? There was nothing wrong with this. The brother, he shared pictures of his whole family, and somebody came on there saying something that heinous, and so they just exposed a mindset that a lot of these people have. All right, and they all just have these batteries in their backs. They're all just going promoting this same agenda. Okay. And you can't listen to any of these people, right? These relationship gurus, none of them are really speaking for themselves, right? It's funny that a lot of things are getting exposed now, but it's all fake. It's all fake. I would advise going to check out this brother's page, though. He does a pretty good breakdown just talking about that same situation. Like if you want to maybe read more into this whole thing with Will Smith, different things line up with the gematria, right? There was a video where Will Smith actually taught a kid named Chris how to slap. He's on stage, and this was just before the thing happened, like maybe like a few weeks or something before. He teach like took hits on stage. So he's on stage showing this kid how to do it. And the kid's name just happened to be Chris, right? Like, come on, right? All of this stuff is fake, right? Then you can look up the gematria and see how the stuff lines up. I'm not going to talk about all this, but there's several people who did. So check that out. The brother's name's Ani Osaru on Facebook. He also has a good YouTube page too. So I would advise going to check that out and just reading more into that if you are interested. Personally, I really just wanted to bring some light to that because, like this stuff is despicable. Like it's insane. And it's crazy that people have enough, gall, the nerve to even do this stuff, right? Just like the nerve of them. How do they even feel like they can do this? But hey, it is what it is. So on that note, though, we're gonna go ahead and close this out. And yeah, the gematria is definitely interesting. That's what I'm saying. Go check out the brother's page. I mean, sorry. Also check out his YouTube. I can't remember the name of it, but check the brother's stuff out. Right, he goes in and breaks a lot of that stuff down. There's no denying that it was fake. If you doubted it, check this stuff out. It all lines up. Okay, so yeah, definitely though. On that note, I'm gonna go ahead and close out. Just wanted to put that out there, and that's why I'm saying share this, because there's a lot of people who have no idea what's going on, and just want to open some more eyes. On that note, we're gonna go ahead and close out. Peace and love, everybody. Make sure you click like. Make sure you share this video. All right, and make sure you also check out the website moresinamerica.com if you haven't done so already. And on that note, we're out.